The magical whisper of intuition. Introduction. In a world where appearances seem to dictate our limitations, this book emerges as a beacon of empowerment, a guide to breaking free from the barriers that hold us back and rediscovering the boundless potential within. It's an invitation to step into the vast universe of ideas, where every conscious thought can be shaped into tangible reality. The magical whisper of intuition, inviting you to tap into your inner wisdom and reshape your reality. With profound simplicity, this timeless work unveils the secrets of infinite intelligence and teaches you how to awaken the power of intuition to manifest a life rich in spiritual abundance, love, and success. Florence Scovel Shinn was a pioneer of metaphysical thought in the early 20th century. Her teachings, rooted in faith, affirmations, and universal laws, continue to inspire readers to unlock their highest potential and navigate life's challenges with grace and clarity. This masterpiece is more than a book. It's a blueprint for creating a life aligned with divine purpose and limitless possibilities. Through its pages, you'll uncover a universal force capable of transforming fear into confidence, scarcity into abundance, and confusion into clarity. But this isn't just a book that inspires, it equips you with practical tools to live a life aligned with your true purpose. From mastering the art of releasing resentment to harnessing the power of affirmations and active faith, each lesson is a step closer to manifesting your deepest desires. You're not here by coincidence. The message finds those who are ready to listen. Are you ready to awaken your limitless self and create the life you've always envisioned? Your journey starts now. Chapter 1. The Magnetic Power of Intuition. True prayer is not just asking, it is preparing to receive. You must act immediately as if the universal provider is sending your request. This act of faith imprints a lasting impression on your subconscious mind and creates the expectation of a favorable outcome. Prayer, you could say, is like dialing a call to God. Intuition, on the other hand, is when God calls you. There was a woman who understood the law of preparation. She decided to buy exclusive magazines, not out of vanity, but to immerse herself in the feeling of abundance. Her intuition guided her to this simple yet profound act, and in doing so, she strengthened her connection to wealth. This was not mere wishful thinking. It was a conscious alignment with the universal flow. Intuition is not a random whisper of the mind. It is a direct connection to the supreme intelligence, the part of us that is eternally linked to the divine. Unlike the subconscious, which is a vast but untamed reservoir of memories, emotions, and potential, intuition gives this reservoir direction and purpose. It transforms deep-seated feelings into tangible realities. When we replace fear and doubt in our consciousness with perfect images from the higher mind, we restore our inner essence. In moments of quiet contemplation, you can reinforce this connection with affirmations such as, "I remain calm and discover the power within me." The beauty of intuition is that when you follow it, you often receive not only what you seek but something even greater. The intuitive mind reveals precisely what you need, but only in moments of stillness. This quietude is essential because fear, resistance, and resentment can cloud your perception and obscure the signals your higher self is sending you. Maintaining balance is crucial. It is the key to allowing your inner power to shape your external circumstances. Consider how resentment clouds not only your emotional clarity, but can even manifest physically. Imagine encountering someone who, instead of offering kindness, subtly criticizes you. If you react with anger or defensiveness, your thoughts can manifest as physical tension, such as a stiffness in your neck or a pounding headache. This simple scenario illustrates how our emotions directly influence our health and well-being. However, if you choose to practice forgiveness and send love to that person instead, you can reverse the emotional and physical harm that such negativity may have caused. Forgiveness is not a weakness. It is a strength in its purest form. When you learn to let go of resentment and approach situations with equanimity, you break the cycle of conflict. Only then can you interact with others without replaying old patterns of hurt. External events cannot shake this inner peace, which becomes a precious gem. Life operates akin to a boomerang. The energy you project into the world, be it love or hatred, reverberates back to you with equal intensity. Jesus taught us that we must treat others as we wish to be treated. This timeless teaching is more than moral advice. It is a law of the universe. When you project harmful thoughts or words, they rebound and shape your reality, reinforcing the negativity you wish to avoid. As you develop spiritually, this process accelerates. With knowledge comes responsibility. If you're in conflict, remember that your true enemy is your own beliefs and emotions. By feeding fear or hatred, you anchor them deeper into your life. The only remedy is genuine forgiveness and goodwill toward those who have wronged you. One powerful declaration that can help dissolve the chains of negativity is, "My goodwill is an impenetrable tower. I transform discord into harmony and injustice into justice." These words are not mere sentiment. They are a gateway to transformation. This shift in perspective can turn even the most deep-rooted conflicts into opportunities for growth. You have the ability to transform your difficulties into blessings, just as the alchemists of antiquity attempted to transform base metals into gold. Believing that you already have what you're looking for is the first step in the process. The Gospel of Mark reminds us to believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Mark 11:24. True faith is based on an unwavering belief that the universe will act on your conviction, not on wishful thinking. By trusting your intuition, you align with the divine wisdom that seeks to guide you. You unlock a realm of possibilities where fear dissolves and clarity reigns. The world may try to distract you with its noise, but within you lies a compass more powerful than any external force. Let that compass lead you, not toward the life you think you should live, but toward the life your soul has always known was meant for you. Chapter 2. The Power of Gratitude and Faith in Action. Gratitude is the seed from which all growth springs, while complaints nourish the roots of scarcity. The way you perceive money determines how it flows into your life. To view prosperity as something that depends solely on salaries, investments, or fixed sources of income is to embrace a narrow vision. These streams can quickly dry up. True prosperity lies in recognizing that abundance is not limited to what you can see. It is sustained by a divine energy that is ever present and always active. When one door closes, another inevitably opens. Money is more than a resource. It is a symbol of freedom, an essential part of the grand universal design. The invisible realm of imagination is an unlimited bank where prosperity takes shape before it materializes in your world. But first, you must set your intention with unwavering conviction. Speak boldly, declaring that the universe is your eternal source and that joyful financial surprises are already on their way to you. Faith is not passive, it demands movement. A belief without action is sterile. Even a simple act, such as buying something symbolic like a new wallet and saying, "This is my magical wallet for receiving the riches the universe is sending me," stirs a powerful feeling of expectancy within you. Equally important is releasing anything that weighs down your subconscious with feelings of lack. Objects associated with fear of scarcity carry energetic burdens. By preparing yourself with active faith, you align with the grace of the universe, which responds in kind. Fear of losing what you have only ensures its disappearance. That which you cling to with fear is not rooted in your subconscious as a lasting blessing. There was a woman who owned a valuable pearl necklace. Yet she often said, "Someday I may have to sell these pearls to survive." Over time, her financial situation deteriorated, compelling her to relinquish the necklace she dreaded losing. Her words and thoughts became the architects of her reality. Your words and thoughts have a lasting impact on your life, influencing its course. Conversely, gratitude attracts more to you and increases the vitality of what you currently have. Your connection to the cosmic flow of plenty is strengthened when you express gratitude, even during uncertain times. Saying, "I am grateful because the universe is my inexhaustible source, and I am now connected to a constant stream of prosperity under perfect and divine conditions," causes your inner state to change from one of longing to one of receiving. How you feel about money defines your relationship with it, not how much you own. You will attract less if you feel poor. You will attract wealth if you feel abundant. Thinking constructively and positively fosters a mental environment that is conducive to prosperity. Today is the day of my extraordinary fortune, is a statement that can be made every day. Even if money may leave your hands, if you trust the process, fresh sources of income can miraculously return to you. This has nothing to do with reckless spending, but rather with trusting your instincts when allocating or sharing your resources. An inner urge compelled one woman to donate money to a friend who had previously assisted her. She followed her instinct, and soon after, she got thousands of cash from a surprising source. She expressed her faith in the universe's endless supply through her generosity, and it came back to her in ways she could never have predicted. Your perception of money determines how much you can attract. If you can feel comfortable surrounded by abundance, it will find its way to you. Remind yourself, I am in harmony with the wealth of the universe. I lack nothing, for divine supply precedes me. Let go of the urge to dwell on past failures. The energy spent reliving losses perpetuates those same conditions. Instead, greet each new day as a chance to receive fresh blessings. Declare with faith, the current has shifted in my favor, and abundance flows freely to me because the universe has cleared the way. Ancient wisdom echoes this truth. Your barns will be filled to overflowing. Proverbs 3:10. Gratitude, when paired with active faith and positive thought, unlocks the path to prosperity. When you give thanks for the unseen blessings already making their way to you, you align yourself with the natural rhythm of divine abundance. Your belief in your worth determines your fortune, not the world outside. The universe always responds to the language of faith. When you trust its endless supply, life transforms, and your path becomes one of boundless wealth and joy. Chapter 3. The Magical Path of Intuition. What you see with your inner vision will eventually unfold in the world around you. Intuition is not merely a whisper of possibility, it is the blueprint of your future. The simple act of clearing your space holds far greater power than you might imagine. It is a spiritual cleansing that sweeps away beliefs of scarcity, failure, resentment, and sorrow. By doing so, you free your mind to receive the blessings the universe has prepared for you. However, resentment or loss strips you of the power to shape your future. The moment you awaken to this truth, the world around you shifts. Your heart's desires will find fulfillment in a renewed reality of health, abundance, and joy. Your words, like sacred incantations, hold the power to mold reality. Even in your darkest moments, speak them with purpose, for they can turn misfortune into triumph. With the right declaration, you can rebirth each apparent failure as a victory. Do not let the limitations of the external world, the fleeting illusions of setbacks and disappointments, cloud your perception of truth. Instead, remind yourself, the light of the sun illuminates my mind and body, and I now see the fulfillment of my desires. Negative thoughts steeped in impatience and sadness generate their own destructive responses. Consider someone who longs for flowers but thinks, no one will ever send me flowers. The universe, constantly reacting to the energy underlying our thoughts, could unexpectedly fulfill this desire in an ironic manner. A flower pot could fall unexpectedly, thereby fulfilling the thought in a clumsy, unpleasant way. But by affirming with gratitude, I give thanks that flowers arrive in my life gracefully and perfectly, you open the channels for that blessing to arrive in the most beautiful form. The law of use or loss governs nature itself. If you hoard out of fear of lack, you are inviting loss into your life. But when you use what you have with trust and wisdom, knowing that the invisible supply will always replenish you, abundance will flow effortlessly. This is the law of accumulation in action. Never declare scarcity over your life with words like, I'm completely broke. Such affirmations etch negative imprints in your subconscious mind. Instead, remember that the game of life is deeply personal. Change your mindset, and your circumstances will change as well. Speak with unwavering faith. I am at peace and in perfect balance, immune to frustration or attack. The power of your words is not a superstition, but a truth woven into the fabric of existence. A striking example of this is the story of a mother who, after a heated argument with her family, declared in anger that she would never return to a certain home. The following year, she found herself confined to a hospital bed, unable to fulfill that promise. Not because of punishment, but because her words, fueled by bitterness, shaped her reality. However, by shifting her perspective and visualizing herself as healthy and joyous, she experienced a remarkable recovery. What we hold with clarity in our minds eventually transforms into our lives. Faith is always fruitful, but many find it easier to visualize failure rather than success due to deeply ingrained negative patterns formed in childhood. However, it is possible to undo this. Affirm with confidence. I now see my endless supply. Doors open and the channels of abundance flow freely. Do not force mental images. Invite the perfect ones to arise naturally from your higher consciousness. One powerful affirmation to guide this process is, "The infinite light flows through my mind and body, clearing all obstacles and revealing the perfect path." Your external world is a reflection of your internal state. Create a space that invites prosperity by nurturing an atmosphere of order and positivity. Even the smallest details, like having fresh paper on your desk, can symbolize your readiness to receive. An uncluttered space mirrors a clear mind, and a clear mind is a fertile ground for abundance. Never underestimate the immense power of your words. Speak from a place of gratitude and unshakable trust, for nothing is too wonderful to happen or too beneficial to last. As the poet Alexander Pope once wrote, "Order is heaven's first law." When you align your mind, your words, and your spirit with divine order, you become a living conduit for the miracles the universe is ready to send your way. In this sacred harmony, intuition ceases to be a faint whisper and becomes a symphony of endless possibilities. Chapter 4. Transforming Old Thought Patterns into Power. No one keeps you from your destiny except yourself. The negative ideas you hold and reinforce over time become deeply rooted patterns in your subconscious, shaping the very experiences you fear most. These thought patterns act as magnets, drawing into your life the circumstances you most wish to avoid. Until you neutralize them, they will continue to appear, challenging you until you rise above them. Fear, left unchecked, inevitably takes form. However, facing fear head-on with courage and stepping forward with unwavering confidence is the key to breaking free. Gratitude is your first step toward liberation. By affirming, "I give thanks for my whirlwind of success. My path is cleared, for I walk in harmony with the divine plan for my life." You infuse yourself with strength and dissolve the mental chains of defeat. This declaration not only empowers you, but creates space for the perfect idea of success to take root and flourish. Be mindful of the words you use, not only toward yourself but toward others. Labeling someone with pity or disdain, even unintentionally, impacts your own energy. The human mind is remarkably susceptible to the thoughts we feed it, and true victory comes from aligning with your higher mind, the divine force within that operates from love and purpose. Imagine the story of Cinderella. The wicked stepmother and stepsisters are not merely characters. They symbolize the internal barriers that kept her from her dreams, such as feelings of inferiority and powerlessness. Yet the fairy godmother represents the superconscious mind, the divine spark within that turns the impossible into reality. When Cinderella lost her glass slipper, she didn't lose her chance at happiness. Instead, she attracted exactly what she had envisioned, her prince and her new life. In the same way, your fears act as shackles that hold you back, but when you connect to your inner power, you can break free and rewrite your story. With clarity and conviction, remind yourself, "Here and now all things are possible. What once seemed out of reach is now within my grasp." Even a simple change of scenery can help you shake off old thought patterns. Traveling or stepping outside of your daily routine can open your mind to new perspectives and release limiting beliefs. Yet it is not enough to change your environment if you carry fear and worry with you. No breathtaking view or distant horizon will bring you peace if your heart remains heavy with doubt. Beware of feeding thoughts of envy, as they create barriers between you and the life you desire. Self-pity, too, is a subtle yet destructive form of thought. The more you feel sorry for yourself, the more hardships you will attract. Instead of sinking into despair, rise above it. Lift your consciousness beyond fear, and you will witness your deepest desires forming with astonishing speed. Remember the words of wisdom. Do not let your heart be troubled, nor let it be afraid. John 14:27. By letting go of your old beliefs, you pave the way for a life brimming with success, abundance, and joy. When you let go of fear and embrace your divine right to thrive, you step fully into the magnificent life that was meant for you all along. Chapter 5. Aligning Mind, Body, and Spirit. A harmonious soul never vibrates at the same frequency as illness. Health and happiness are intimately connected, and the signs of aging and disease often emerge when inner discord disrupts the natural flow of life. Maintaining an attitude of serenity and balance is essential for true well-being. Consider the story of a woman who felt unjustly deprived of a sum of money. Her inability to forgive and let go of the situation had a negative impact on her health, leading to illness. Her fear-driven need to hoard and economize violated the law of circulation, creating a lack where there should have been prosperity. Actions born from fear and resistance disrupt the natural flow of both abundance and health. Negative thoughts like criticism and resentment can have tangible, damaging effects on the body. Criticism acts as a slow toxin, poisoning the bloodstream and often manifesting as physical ailments such as arthritis or joint pain. Resentment, on the other hand, seeps into the cells, weakening the immune system and corroding vitality. Yet, just as destructive emotions can harm the body, a shift toward joy can bring miraculous restoration. The simple transition from despair to delight has the power to restore circulation, renew cells, and infuse life with energy once more. Words hold immeasurable power to heal or harm. When you declare with confidence, "Today is the day of my extraordinary prosperity. I speak life, success, and abundance, and they manifest with grace," you engage the magnetic energy of the mind and body. Your words, like radio waves, ripple through the ocean of creation, forming your desires. Intentional affirmations and vivid visualizations can also reshape and rejuvenate the body. Picture yourself enveloped in a dazzling, divine light that dissolves everything misaligned with your higher purpose. This sacred practice not only strengthens and restores the body, but shields it from the deterioration caused by fear-based thoughts. Joy is a force that surpasses any earthly remedy. Ancient wisdom reminds us that joy is a source of strength and resilience, while fear and worry wear down the cells and invite weakness. Even in moments of financial loss or personal hardship, an unshaken attitude can restore prosperity and peace. There was once a woman who suffered a significant financial loss. Instead of surrendering to bitterness, she forgave the person responsible, blessed the situation, and cultivated an attitude of gratitude and wealth. Shortly after, she reclaimed the money she had previously lost, demonstrating that you can't deny abundance when you align yourself with it. True immunity transcends the physical realm. It arises from a heart free of fear and a mind anchored in peace. A joyful person who lives without resentment is far less likely to fall ill, as their elevated vibration forms an energetic shield against negative influences. On the contrary, stubbornness, anger, and fear create disturbances in the body's organs. The liver, for example, is highly susceptible to criticism and excessive worry, while the heart thrives in an atmosphere of kindness and forgiveness. Every organ reflects an emotional state, and by nurturing a mindset of love and surrender, you restore not only your health, but your connection to the divine essence within you. A powerful affirmation to cultivate this balance is, "Divine light flows through my mind and body, bringing perfect harmony and radiant health. My heart is filled with joy, kindness, and forgiveness." By releasing destructive thought patterns, you dissolve the shadows that cast pain and limitation over your body. Instead, you begin to embody a luminous form, free from suffering and bound only to infinite possibility. Your physical self reflects your inner self. You fill your body with a glow that exudes vigor and strength when you purge your mind of negativity. Do not be dejected or sad, for the joy of the Lord is your strength, as the scriptures remind us, Nehemiah 8:10. Health and pleasure will become your continuous companions if you embrace each day with enthusiasm and unwavering trust. Fear and fleeting situations will no longer control your life, but rather the unwavering realization that your well-being begins within. Your spirit whispers the blueprint for a life of dazzling harmony in the peaceful haven of your mind, where every breath replenishes your strength, every thought mirrors the divine, and every heartbeat echoes with calm. Chapter 6. Embracing the Infinite Now. To bring your future to the present, you must immerse yourself fully in the now. Time and space, as we perceive them, are illusions, a dream we can transcend when we understand their nature. Everything you long for, everything that seems so distant, exists already. You are ready to accept it and live it in the present moment. Imagine a student who dreamed of owning a beautiful watch. She was guided to believe she already possessed it, envisioning it as part of her reality. Shortly after, a friend gifted her the very watch she desired. This is the power of realization, turning longing into manifestation. Your ability to act as if your desires have already come true holds the key. When doubt and fear creep in, creating a chasm between you and your goals, the solution is to anchor yourself with affirmations that restore your confidence. If fear threatens to take hold, boldly declare, "This is simple for me." Worries and adverse appearances are nothing more than illusions, shadows without substance. Once, a man plagued by restless thoughts devised an unusual strategy. He allocated 30 minutes a day solely for worrying. To his surprise, he found himself unable to worry when he decided to do so. Unintentionally, he had activated the law of non-resistance. By releasing the grip of resistance, he discovered that peace and clarity could flow into his life. Success follows those who align their thoughts with the universal rhythm of life. These individuals effortlessly navigate the path of their aspirations. Affirm, "The tide has turned in my favor. Abundance flows to me and remains with me, for divine providence grants me passage." Active faith like this transforms the tides of fortune, filling the present with joy and prosperity. Many people live tethered to the future, endlessly dreaming of someday while failing to act in the present. However, we should fully live life in the present moment. Consider two brothers. One boldly pursued his dreams, taking immediate action, while the other spent his days merely imagining what he might do someday. The difference between them was not talent or opportunity, but a willingness to embrace the present moment. To manifest your dreams, you must root yourself in the present and ensure your goals align with the divine plan. Affirm, "Let the divine design for my life illuminate my conscious mind. Let me see clearly the perfect path." The subconscious carries the blueprint for your life, but it's the conscious mind that needs to free itself from restrictive thoughts. If you desire something that falls outside the divine plan, you will encounter obstacles, or, if attained, it will bring only dissatisfaction. Health, wealth, love, and the perfect expression of one's self form the foundational pillars of a fulfilled life. Yet the path to these blessings lies in the wisdom of the great designer. Once, a woman ordered a specific sweater, but received 2 different styles instead. Initially hesitant, she discovered she loved one of the unexpected choices far more than her original preference. This experience taught her to trust the infinite intelligence guiding her decisions. From that moment, she confidently declared, "The universal power is my guide. I now sail fearlessly on uncharted seas." Fear of change often traps people in unsatisfying conditions. They cling to the familiar, even when it no longer serves them, rather than embrace the unknown. However, venturing joyfully to new horizons can lead you to your promised land. Routine dulls the spirit, while recreation and play renew the mind, activating untapped creativity and opening pathways to success. The element of play must infuse your efforts, allowing you to approach life with a sense of wonder and possibility. Let your ideal become the sole reality in your mind, and watch as obstacles dissolve, clearing a path to your goals. Spirit, as pure intelligence, is ever present, waiting for you to tune into its frequency. Refuse to limit yourself to a single mode of existence. Connect with the infinite intelligence and marvel as blessings flow effortlessly into your life. When you firmly establish in your mind that your supply originates from this boundless source, you will never lack. Abundance will come to you, often in ways you never imagined. Great achievements arrive with ease when untainted by doubt or fear. By living fully in the present, you allow the future to unfold naturally, revealing itself in the perfect moment. As ancient wisdom reminds us, lift up your eyes and look at the fields, for they are already white for harvest. John 4:35. The harvest is here, ready for you to gather, if only you open your heart and step into the infinite now. Chapter 7. The Art of Letting Go. Your heart's desires, while sacred, can become burdens when clung to with desperate intensity, weighing down your spirit. Anxiety and impatience cloud their longing, preventing many from realizing their deepest wishes. This excessive yearning creates a storm of worry that repels the very manifestations they seek. Instead of living in the joyous expectation that their desires are already fulfilled, they remain ensnared in tension, unable to let go. Yet when you embrace the certainty that what you have asked for is already yours, you step into a state of peace, releasing the chains of fear and stepping into the present with joy and trust. It is in this tranquil ocean of faith that miracles unfold. To feel happiness, act as though it is already yours. To experience wealth, embody the energy of abundance. Aligning with these states creates a clear reflection in your life. Your struggles and suffering are not punishments but spiritual wake-up calls, gentle nudges from the universe urging you to realign with harmony. They highlight areas in your life that require adjustments, possibly indicating the necessity to relinquish harsh judgments, ingratitude, or intolerance. These karmic echoes are not condemnations, but lessons designed to elevate your awareness and purify your actions. If someone has ever harmed you, realize that you gave them the power to influence you. You can protect yourself from the arrows of resentment by maintaining love and goodwill within you. When those arrows return to you, it's an indication that you need to realign your thinking and behavior. But you have the ability to change these circumstances. You can free yourself and the other person from the karmic cycle by applying the law of forgiveness. Declare firmly, I invoke the law of forgiveness. This circumstance resolves itself under grace rather than karmic law, and I am free from wrong. The vibe drastically changes when you truly forgive and show compassion to people who have offended you. The animosity vanishes as if by magic, and what seemed like an impenetrable barrier becomes a chance for development. Love fulfills all laws. After showing compassion and forgiveness, former enemies often become allies who help you fulfill your divine purpose. Suffering, when met with acceptance and understanding, teaches tolerance and resilience. However, choosing to hold on to your resentment will just make things worse. Every obstacle is a chance to develop and learn. The patterns that cause the difficulty vanish when you accept it as a lesson, enabling you to go without any obstacles. To manifest your heart's desires, you must cleanse your mind of anxiety, impatience, and fear. These emotions act as barriers, blocking the flow of blessings into your life. Patience, contrary to popular belief, is not passive. It is an active state of trust and non-resistance that enables the universe to function according to its perfect timing. The divine operates beyond the constraints of human urgency. When you release the need to control and trust the timing of the infinite, your desires manifest effortlessly. It is akin to sailing on calm waters, allowing the current to guide you without struggle. Consider the story of a woman who dreamed of starting her own business, but faced obstacle after obstacle. Frustrated, she finally released her control, saying, I surrender this to the universe. I let it go. Shortly thereafter, while visiting a distant city, she met someone who, by what appeared to be sheer coincidence, offered the very assistance she needed. This meeting was no accident but the result of her surrender and trust in the infinite intelligence that orchestrates all things. Disconnecting your personal will from the divine plan can obstruct your blessings. A friend once found herself in despair, believing she would have to sell a cherished piece of jewelry to cover her expenses. Someone advised her to let go of the situation and declare, "This pin is not mine. It belongs to the divine spirit. If it is the spirit's will, I will sell it. If not, the money will come in another way." Days later, she received an unexpected check, covering her needs without parting with the cherished item. This illustrates the profound power of renunciation, a principle often misunderstood, but one that unlocks perfect solutions. Living without anxiety, trusting the divine design, and releasing control are essential steps in manifesting your desires. When you align with love, patience, and faith, your dreams cease to be distant aspirations and become tangible realities that enrich your life. The desires of your heart manifest only when freed from attachment and resistance. Many people, in their fervent longing, emit vibrations of anger, frustration, and fear, energies that push away what they seek. The journey to manifestation begins with inner peace and non-resistance. A student who longed to spend New Year's Eve with someone special learned this lesson firsthand. When she discovered that the man had made other plans, her initial reaction was one of tears and anger. These emotions only served to create further distance between her and her desire. Counselors advised her to let go of her resentment, bless the man, and wish him a joyful evening without reproach. To her astonishment, her change in attitude softened his heart, and the next day he called to invite her to spend that special evening together. This powerful shift illustrates how vibrations of love and acceptance can transform even the most disheartening situations into opportunities for joy. Anger and resentment are destructive forces that block the manifestation of your desires. Even when suppressed, their negative energy lingers in your vibration, influencing your experiences. During a meeting, I once used an affirmation to dissolve such emotions. The light of infinite intelligence flows through our consciousness, dispelling all anger and resentment. We are at peace with ourselves and the world. Later, a woman in attendance described experiencing a radiant light that permanently erased discord from her mind. She realized that her anger had cost her valuable opportunities, but knew she would never allow it to control her again. Spiritual growth demands not only emotional control, but also the purification of the subconscious mind, where negative beliefs take root over a lifetime of experiences. The ultimate goal is to flood your consciousness with thoughts of love, goodwill, and harmony. I once met a man who professed to love everyone but admitted disliking certain individuals. I gently reminded him that even traces of ill will must be addressed to achieve true clarity and peace. Each challenge we encounter is an opportunity for purification. Only when we become unmoved by life's trials do we cease attracting them. Detachment applies to even the smallest decisions. A friend, accustomed to following her intuition, chose once to ignore it. She opted to take the subway instead of a taxi, thinking it would save money. Upon arriving home, she discovered she had lost $1, the exact amount she had hoped to save. This incident taught her that disregarding her inner guidance often carried a greater cost than she anticipated. Unused money can disappear in unexpected ways. Getting your goals requires living in the moment and trusting that the infinite spirit knows how, when, and where every insight comes from. Use resolute statements of truth to counter negative thoughts. As I am one with the Almighty Spirit, I am one with my good. My good in instant action is the Spirit. These affirmations dispel uncertainties, anxieties, and the imperceptible obstacles that stand in the way of your blessings. Manifestation frequently takes unexpected forms. A student longed for her business to succeed, but her incessant anxiety prevented it from moving further. She didn't let her worries out until a small setback diverted her attention. She soon received a big payment along with the news that her business venture had been successful. This is the power of letting go. You make room for blessings to come freely when you let go of your fears and resistance and release your wishes with faith. In this state, your heart's wishes become realities, filled with grace rather than burdens on your soul. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, the psalmist declares, Psalm 23:1. You won't be lacking anything if you have faith in this divine truth. Chapter 8. The infinite intelligence. When you begin to see time and space as mere illusions, you step into a realm where the extraordinary becomes possible. Life unfolds not as a series of limitations, but as a vast, magical stage where infinite possibilities dance in the spotlight. This realization transforms your perspective, allowing you to suspend disbelief and exist fully in the moment, untouched by the constraints of time. It is here, in this timeless awareness, that the true magic of life begins. Miracles and magic are intertwined, both born from the power of belief in the extraordinary. Think of the wonder inspired by a magician who seemingly pulls rabbits from an empty hat or produces a cascade of golden fish from his sleeve. Though we know these are illusions, they remind us of a deeper truth. The impossible can manifest before our eyes. This truth becomes undeniable when you align yourself with the infinite intelligence, the great magician that operates beyond the veil of the visible world. In its presence, loss becomes abundance, illness transforms into health, and despair blooms into joy. The only barriers are the doubts and fears we harbor within. To fully activate this extraordinary power, you must nurture unwavering faith. A single affirmation or a fresh perspective can spark a sudden realization, leading to the swift manifestation of your desires. Once, during a workshop, I invited participants to envision the universal power as a great magician. I encouraged them to imagine a magical hat from which they could draw anything they needed. This simple exercise dissolved the anxiety of how, and shifted their focus to the abundant giver of all blessings. One man, a business professional in search of an elusive 7-story building for a client, embraced this practice. Closing his eyes, he declared, "I now draw from the great magician's hat the perfect building in the perfect location." Within days, he found exactly what he was looking for. This wasn't mere coincidence, but the natural result of being open to receive, trusting in the infinite intelligence to orchestrate the impossible. Everyday life offers countless lessons if we are willing to pay attention. I recall once leaving my watch for repair. When I retrieved it, I discovered it was losing 10 minutes daily. Though initially disheartened, I chose to accept this small flaw with grace. When the watch accidentally slipped from my wrist and hit the floor, I resisted frustration and instead declared, "I christen this event as a success." Astonishingly, from that moment on, the watch worked perfectly. What seemed like a mishap became a reminder. Even setbacks can lead to unexpected alignments. Your supply, your blessings, your solutions, they are already with you, waiting to be revealed. The universal storehouse of infinite intelligence holds everything you could ever need. To access it, all you need is faith and openness. A simple affirmation such as, "Reveal to me the treasures of the great magician now," can open the doors to this abundance. It's as though you're putting on spiritual glasses that remove the filters of doubt and fear, allowing you to see the world as it truly is, a realm brimming with blessings, health, happiness, success, and prosperity. However, these spiritual glasses require regular cleaning. Doubts, fears, and negative patterns can cloud your vision, keeping you from perceiving the blessings within your reach. That's why inspiration and renewed faith are vital. Sometimes the faith of a friend or mentor can act as a spark, rekindling the light within you. This shared energy can unlock pathways you didn't realize were there, revealing that even the ground you stand on is fertile with opportunity. I once met a woman who felt trapped in a cramped hotel room and longed for a home of her own. Her circumstances felt insurmountable, but I encouraged her to take a symbolic action to demonstrate her faith in what she desired. Shortly after, she returned to me carrying a carving knife, a seemingly peculiar item for someone without a kitchen. She explained that the knife symbolized her readiness for the home she envisioned. Her act of faith paved the way, leading her to a house that perfectly matched her dreams. The infinite intelligence, the great magician, is constantly in perfect harmony and prepared to change any circumstance to your advantage. You align yourself with this limitless force when you live with the assurance that your desires are already on their way, ready to materialize in perfect timing. When your faith is strong and aligned with the universal plan, the rewards you can receive are boundless. Life itself continuously tests your faith. Even the smallest, most mundane events hold valuable lessons. Once I had a dress with an ornamental tassel that I always meant to trim but never got around to. One day, as I stepped onto a bus, the tassel snagged and tore off, ending up exactly the length I'd always wanted. That moment taught me not to delay action. Even seemingly trivial details can carry profound messages about the importance of aligning intention with action. Allowing the infinite intelligence to freely flow through your life can lead to miracles. One spring, a woman longed for apple blossoms, but the season was still too early. Undeterred, she drove from farm to farm in search of the elusive flowers. Finally, she came upon a barren tree, and as she stood before it, it miraculously burst into bloom. This was no mere coincidence. It was a testament to the transformative power of faith. The boundaries of time and space dissolve when you trust in the limitless potential of the universe. Jesus demonstrated control over the illusions of time and space, serving as an example of this truth. He transformed adversity into plenty, multiplied loaves and fish, and even surpassed death. He was able to accomplish these miracles because of his unshakable confidence in the infinite intelligence. They are not exclusive deeds, but rather serve as illustrations of what is attainable for everyone who believes. The propensity to concentrate or overanalyze results is one of the biggest barriers to manifestation. This focus creates resistance, impeding the natural flow of universal power. Trust is essential. As the saying goes, a pot left unwatched never boils. Release your desires with faith, knowing that they will materialize at the right time, rather than examining every detail. Delays frequently happen because we aren't ready to get what we've requested yet. Sustaining the blessings we seek requires growth and preparedness. The same applies to relationships. Many people pray for love but are burdened by insecurities and fears that sabotage their efforts. Without a foundation of faith, even the most promising opportunities can crumble. You must build true love and fulfillment on a rock-solid belief in your worthiness and the abundance of the universe. When you act from a place of faith, you attract stability. When you act from fear, chaos follows. Self-pity is another trap that disconnects you from your inner power. Declaring "poor me" only attracts more reasons to feel downtrodden. I knew a woman who broke free from this cycle by affirming, "Nothing is too beneficial for me." Soon her life transformed. Influential people entered her circle, and opportunities for success and prosperity unfolded effortlessly. Eventually, she fulfilled her lifelong dream of studying music abroad. The infinite intelligence, the great magician, has the power to carve pathways even in the most challenging circumstances. Regardless of the severity of your circumstances, you can always turn to this divine source and affirm, "You will create a path through the wilderness and rivers in the desert. You will build your dreams on a foundation that no storm can erode, with faith as unshakable as a rock. The stage is set, the magic is real, and the great magician waits only for your trust." Chapter 9. Unlocking the Miracles of the Fourth Dimension. Everything the fourth dimension offers is already yours. Imagine a world where your most cherished dreams and desires crystallize effortlessly into reality. This world exists, not in some distant land or unattainable realm, but within the very fabric of the fourth dimension, a plane where the infinite intelligence of the universe awaits your call. The fourth dimension is a domain of perfect ideas, a realm where thoughts become things. Your beliefs and intentions shape reality in this crucible, yet many remain trapped in cycles of fear and doubt, feeding these illusions instead of the faith that can set them free. Believing in a life of perfection, a life free from suffering, requires imagination, courage, and an unyielding will. To hold fast to this belief, even when external appearances suggest otherwise, is to embrace the alchemy of transformation. A woman once confided in me about her despair over a seemingly hopeless situation. Her anguish was palpable, a dark cloud that threatened to consume her entirely. I looked her in the eye and said, "None of these appearances can deceive you." The weight of those words took root in her consciousness. Gradually, as if the universe had been waiting for her to let go of her doubts, the divine plan of her life began to unfold with grace and precision. Such is the power of spiritual law, which, when understood, grants us mastery over our circumstances. A student facing dire financial difficulties came to me, desperate for a solution. I advised him, "Step aside and let God do it." At first, this seemed too simple to him, a mere platitude, but as he surrendered his struggles to the infinite intelligence, a new channel of provision opened swiftly and effortlessly. The teachings of ancient wisdom and modern spirituality converge on this truth. To access miracles, we must allow the divine to flow through us. Indigenous traditions, for instance, honor the Great Spirit as the ultimate source of strength. A Native American runner, after completing a grueling journey, explained, "I am not tired. The Great Spirit runs within me." It takes time and effort to develop this trust in the divine. Perseverance and faith cultivate this habit. Once established, however, it has the power to transform lives. Consider the story of Omaha, the racehorse known for his peculiar start. He would run a mile before finding his rhythm. I often use Omaha's story to describe those who have yet to discover their spiritual stride. To them, I say, your time will come, and when it does, you will win your race in the blink of an eye. Discontent, whether with oneself or external circumstances, often holds us back from taking the first step toward success. That first step is gratitude for who you are, here and now. You are the protagonist of your life's grand narrative. In the fourth dimension, you never take a back seat. As Claude Bragdon so aptly said, "To live intuitively is to live in the fourth dimension." This intuitive living is the magical path that transforms perceived disadvantages into stepping stones toward success. One man's story exemplifies this principle. Illiterate and rejected for a janitor's position, he began selling cigars. Over time, he amassed significant wealth. When asked how life might have been different if he had received an education, he replied, "I would have been a janitor at public school number 1. What seemed like a disadvantage became the foundation of his triumph. Such is the nature of faith, the bridge that connects us to infinite possibilities. Faith requires action, however small. A woman yearning for her dream home performed a simple act of faith by purchasing a carving knife, an item she didn't need in her modest hotel room. This symbolic gesture initiated the process of manifestation, ultimately leading to the realization of her ideal home. The fourth dimension erases limitations, offering every desire to those aligned with the divine plan. Yet patience and trust are essential. Like water reaching its boiling point, manifestations arrive when we are truly ready to receive them. This readiness begins with a fearless faith and confident action. Recognize that the ground beneath your feet is sacred. The infinite intelligence of the universe has already prepared everything you need. All that remains is for you to open yourself up to receiving it. People often ask me, if infinite intelligence provides everything, why do we need to ask for anything? The answer is simple. It is the law. To activate the divine flow, you must take the first step. Just as pressing a button brings light into a room, the power is always present, but it requires conscious action to manifest. Many limit their requests to the universe, fearing they ask for too much. However, the genuine desires in your heart are neither excessive nor trivial. They are essential. A woman once asked me, "Is it wrong to ask for what I truly want, or should I only request what I need?" My reply was unequivocal. If you desire it, it is necessary. Profound desires, such as love and beauty, are expressions of the soul, aligned with the divine purpose. There are no limits to what you can ask for when your desires stem from this deep connection. The illusion of duality, believing in separate forces of righteousness and evil, creates barriers to the divine flow. In truth, there is only one power in the universe. The concept of evil is a human creation, a shadow born of fear and misunderstanding. In the fourth dimension, where perfect ideas reside, evil has no record. When you align with this singular power, illusions of loss, failure, and suffering dissolve. I recall a friend who spilled something on her dress and feared it would stain. I told her, "Evil is unreal and leaves no mark." After affirming this truth, the stain vanished entirely. This small incident illustrates how recognizing the truth can transform even the most adverse appearances. Negative emotions like resentment and anger obstruct the divine flow. A woman once harbored resentment toward her niece, only to find that releasing it brought not only peace but also excellence in her niece's actions. Such transformations begin with a simple declaration: "I desire only what God desires through me." This affirmation dissolves misguided desires and replaces them with elevated aspirations. Often we find gratitude for unanswered prayers, realizing in hindsight that they would not have served our highest good. Manifesting the perfect plan for your life requires accessing the fourth dimension, where perfection in health, wealth, love, and self-expression resides. Each of us has a unique role to play in this divine tapestry. When you step into your role, no one else can fill it. Even the most extravagant desires of your heart are yours to claim when aligned with the divine will. The message is profound, yet simple. Ask, and you will receive it. Do not ask with doubt or fear, but with active faith and absolute confidence that the universe will respond. When you take the first step and grant infinite intelligence the right of way, you unlock an endless flow of blessings. The scriptures remind us, "Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will open to you." Matthew 7:7. Throughout this journey, we have explored universal truths that elevate our consciousness and align us with infinite intelligence. Life is not a series of random events, but a fertile ground where intentions, thoughts, and words sow seeds that inevitably bear fruit. Every act of faith, every affirmation, and every gesture of gratitude builds the reality you desire. To access abundance, health, love, and self-expression, we must recognize our role as co-creators of our experience. When we surrender to the divine flow and allow God to guide us, we liberate ourselves from the burden of fear and worry, thereby paving the way for a life filled with miracles. Infinite intelligence has the power to transform obstacles into opportunities, limitations into blessings, and failures into stepping stones toward success. This path requires courage, the courage to release old beliefs in scarcity and duality and embrace the truth of a singular loving power. Faith and conscious creation are inextricably linked. Intellectual understanding alone is not enough. We must trust that every challenge is an opportunity for purification and growth. When we stop resisting and act with faith, the universe responds with perfect precision and love. Ultimately, the message is unambiguous. Make bold requests, trust your instincts, and lay the foundation for your blessings. Life is a journey of self-discovery, each step bringing you closer to your divine essence. In the game of life, there are no defeats, only lessons that guide us toward the unfolding of the divine plan. Remember, everything the fourth dimension offers is already yours. Health, wealth, love, and joy are within your reach, awaiting your faith and gratitude. Walk with the certainty that the universe is working in your favor, and remember that the ground you walk on is sacred. The Master once said, "Ask, and you will receive. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will open for you." Matthew 7:7. Let this knowledge be your compass, guiding you to a life of fullness, illuminated by the love and light of infinite intelligence.